tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
I guess it's on already, right? Because it's, or at least it's being accepted. Welcome, and I am calling the meeting of the Sustainability Advisory Committee of Exeter to order this evening, Wednesday, September 3rd. I am Denise Short, and I am the chair of the committee, and this evening I am joined by Sarah Kopf, Nina Braun, Julie Gaunt, and Jim Breeling. And from the town, Kristen Murphy from the planning department, and then representative from the select board, Dan Chartrand.
Good evening.
And anybody watching. So let's see, our agenda for this evening starts out with public comments, and I am not aware, I have not received any public comment. Kristen, have you?
No.
All right. And does anybody else have any public comments? All right. The next item is approval of minutes, and our last meeting was July 2nd. We missed a meeting last in August, vacation time. And the meeting minutes, Kristen distributed them along with the agenda. So did anyone have any edits or modifications or comments?
I just had one to the spelling of Guilford.
Oh.
I think it was G-U-I-L.
Mm-hmm. And it's G-I-L. Okay.
O-R-D.
Gosh, I didn't even notice that. All right. So we'll fix that, and that stays on the website as a record of our meetings.
Yeah, so you would motion to accept the minutes as amended.
As amended.
And then we would update them.
Okay.
And call them final on the website.
All right. So any other comments? Nope. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes as amended?
I move we accept the minutes as amended.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? No. All right, so the minutes have been approved with the one amendment. Thank you.
Who was the second,
Oh, sorry.
Denise?
I think, was there a second? I just zipped right past that.
Can we just say,
So,
Okay.
we'll say that Nina seconded
okay.
retroactively.
Okay, next is item 4, the team fall equinox tabling. So last time we discussed this, we were going to see if we could have a table with the Energy Committee to publicize some of the work that we're doing, and we thought the Fall Equinox Festival would be a good place to reach a lot of members in the community, a lot of community citizens. There's a cost to having the table. And I think in discussions with the Energy Committee, they had decided to set up a table another place, not in the actual festival, to get the attention of people who would be going to the festival. So I have not talked to Amy about that, Amy Farnham, the chair of the Energy Committee. But does anybody have an opinion about, I'm not all that keen on setting up a table that's outside of the Equinox Festival if we're not going to pay for it. I'll be honest about that. But what do you think? Do you think it's a... So the Energy Committee would be promoting their window dressers program, and we would be promoting our styrofoam recycling event and the styrofoam recycling system or facility that we will be getting hopefully this fall. And those are good things to promote, obviously. But I'm not quite sure how to discuss that or what. I mean, we would need people to staff the table, and it's it's coming up. I think it's like September 19th. So it's,
Is that a Saturday?
yeah, it's,
That's a Friday.
all right, so maybe it's September.
20th.
So it's September 20th. So it's 2 weeks from Saturday. What do you people think?
What are the times, Denise? Is that an all-day thing?
I think it's, I don't know. I think it is most of the day. Well, first of all, is anybody interested in staffing the table? I guess we can't say whether or not we should do it.
I
If
could take later in the afternoon, like, I don't know how late it goes, but starting at around 2:30, I
Okay,
could table.
all right.
I'm available for that.
What's the cost of getting a table inside? And inside, we mean the town hall, or?
No, it's Swayze Parkway. So the festival goes all the way down
Oh, so
Swayze Parkway, and it's
Outdoors, but it's on Swayze Park.
outdoors, and it's, have you ever been to one of them? It's music, art,
Oh, yeah, that's actually,
yeah, and it's very fun, and there's a lot of activity. And I am blanking on the cost. I didn't write it down.
I want to say it was like $150.
Yeah, it's
Somewhere
between
like that.
$100 and $200.
For a table?
Just for a table. But to be fair, this is not dissing the festival because that's how they raise money. I mean, Team is a great community organization. They do a lot of really cool things in the community. So, you know, that's, I believe, they're one of their largest fundraisers. So I guess the question, and the Energy Committee decided that they didn't want to, I guess, pay for it and be inside the festival. So,
So the question of paying for it, I mean, people are looking for the town for money. There may not be any money. Are they looking for a donor to fund the cost of a table? Because 150 doesn't seem that high for,
No.
Since it's a town event, and I guess this is a technical question.
yeah.
Is an external donor able to donate so that the town can participate in this event, inside?
Yeah.
Is it a directed?
That's a good question.
Is it a directed donation? Is it a general donation?
Is it a town, is Team considered, I don't think Team's a
Well,
town.
No,
facility,
Team,
right, it's
team
a
receives a
separate
permit from
spot.
the town to have their event. And so could there be a donation to cover it? Probably. I think the Energy Committee was concerned with the small budget line item that energy and sustainability get annually. It wouldn't be enough to cover that and
Right.
local energy solutions conference and whatever else we
Yeah.
need. And so they were trying to find a way around that.
If we found a donor like Jim was talking about, would they be willing to join us inside the festival?
The Energy Committee?
To share a table with us?
They meet next week, so I could ask that.
Yeah, that would be great to have
I
them
would imagine
working with us.
that they would.
So I'll make a commitment to make that donation if the town can accept it. Jim's right, that's not that much money, so,
Can I just,
It's 100.
okay, there you go, it's even better.
can I? Where would it be if it wasn't in the festival?
They were talking about at the entrance to Swayze by the boathouse.
Because that is, I've been to those festivals and so many people walk past you anyway.
Yeah.
You know, to get to buy your ticket to go in.
Right.
So in my mind, you would still be capturing people
Oh,
on
I
the
don't.
way in.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I think it's important
It's
to
just a
support
little-
team though as well.
Yeah.
Right. I'm leery of trying to do something that's like, oh, we want to benefit from the people that you are bringing to town,
Yeah.
but we're
So-
not going to support you.
Per Jim's suggestion, I'm willing to front that money.
And,
Make that donation.
so let's talk about it.
Oh, all right, maybe we'll go half.
Okay.
Jim and I will go halfsies, it sounds like.
No, I mean, I think that, it being inside, being part of the program shows the commitment and of course, we may not be able to muster the people power to man the table, but I think the window dressers program and the styrofoam initiative deserve a highlighted location, not sort of an afterthought where we're piggybacking on somebody else's trailer there.
Yeah.
It's a good
So,
organization to support as well.
Yeah, team does a lot for the town. So that answers that question.
Okay.
And then we just need to know if Energy wants to join us.
All right.
So now we're back.
That's
to-
awesome.
We're back to the question you asked.
Staffing.
Who can table? I can do 2:30 to 5.
I
Okay.
could probably do
It's
something
10
in
to
the
4.
morning.
It's 10 to 4? Okay, so I can do 2:30 to 4-ish.
I could probably do the morning, like 10 to 12 or something.
I could do a morning.
10 to
Sure.
12? 10.
Yeah, probably 10 to 11:30 or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Something.
And Julie, you said you could
I
be
could
in the
be
morning?
10 to 12, yeah.
And I could do the between 12 and whenever you can come. And
great.
if we get the Energy Committee to be there as well, then we will, I don't think we have to have multiple people. I mean, yeah, it'd be good to have as many as we can, but, and I might be able to find some other people too who would be interested in supporting us.
Will they literally give us a table, or do we have to bring our own table?
I don't know the answer to that question.
I can get a table,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
if not.
sure the tables are, I'm just curious if we had to also bring our own table and
Yep.
table dressing stuff.
We could cover it in styrofoam.
Actually,
Styrofoam table.
Well, can we collect
Actually-
some styrofoam?
that would be a way to collect.
Almost dumpster dove the other day for more styrofoam.
Did you?
I resisted. It was way back.
That would be a good way to get
Decide that
people to
wasn't the
notice.
best look.
Table covered in styrofoam.
Town selectmen seen diving into dumpster for styrofoam. Committed to sustainability. Gosh, that would be interesting to collect a little bit of styrofoam. I mean, people aren't going to be walking around with styrofoam.
I mean, I have my bag that's, going, which is mainly like meat styrofoam trays and stuff, so.
Yeah. Anyway, okay, I think that's great. So the action items would be, if Dan and Jim can figure out the donation part, would you be willing to go onto the team website or whatever and get the table?
I can do that.
Yeah.
And I can't
let
be
me
there
know.
that day. I'm away, but I have a tent.
But you'll let
Like,
me know how much.
sometimes it's nice to have a
like
tent
easy.
for the shade.
Oh,
I have
yeah.
a 10 by 10.
Like a pop-up
easy up.
tent.
Yeah, I'm happy to and I also have tables, but Kristen said there's.
Okay.
But if you want a tent, it's yours.
Because as far as I remember, team often picks a rainy weekend.
Yeah, but there are no
They've-
rainy weekends.
That's true, and we need a rainy weekend,
No, this is that weekend.
just not that weekend. All right, so we've got the donation, the table. You're going to, well, I'm going to ask Amy. I can just text Amy, too, about what is going on with the Energy Committee.
We would love them to join us.
Yeah, I would imagine that they would want to join us. And then we can figure out the staffing via email and pick times. And then in terms of what goes on the table, what we did at the ALY Festival, I think the information about styrofoam and what else? Oh, the example of the thing that's the compressed styrofoam, which is so cool. it looks like a space rock. And maybe, well,
Magnus?
the magnet. So I brought some of these magnets, and I'll talk about when we get to the next agenda item, but maybe we could get a large poster of this to put at the table. Somebody had said something, I think it was Julie, about it would be nice to have like a bigger printout of it to use when we're tabling or at events or something, because that could be. And how do we do that? Do you have a?
I have the.
Or you have the electronic,
file
the file.
electronically. And I've been thinking about replacing the community power poster with that.
Oh, okay.
And so I could look into printing.
Okay,
I think we can print that size at Public Works. So
All
I'll
right.
I'll take that on.
that would be great. All right, anything about the Fall Equinox Festival then?
Are you looking to hand out those magnets?
We don't have enough.
More?
No.
No.
Oh, I have
Yeah.
a stack.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay, I guess, yeah.
I say, yeah.
So I think probably one of the things, I mean, the people attend the festival come from all over town, so probably just to make sure that if they're Exeter residents, that they can take one, as opposed to if they're, any of the other towns.
Okay. So maybe not put a stack out for people to just grab.
Yeah.
But if we have the poster, we can talk about it. And then if somebody asks and says, oh, do you have one of those?
Or they have to answer a trivia question about
Oh,
styrofoam or sustainability, and then they get a prize.
I kind of like
To
that.
make it interactive.
I
There's a
kinda
QR
like
code
that.
on that,
Create
right?
the conversation.
There's 6 different QR codes here, including a styrofoam one.
I think what would also be quite useful to be having a QR code itself just printed out, if it's that directs them directly to our town website.
Okay.
On the sustainability page. I think that would be good to, again, as a talking point to say,
Oh, yeah.
this is where you'll find all the information of what's happening in town, how we recycle, and so if you just have that QR code, so printed
Okay.
out on a piece of paper, they can just, got their phone on them, they can just go directly.
Did you say, are you coming? Can you staff the table at
I
all?
can't, I'm not.
You won't be
away that
around.
weekend,
Okay.
sorry.
Just so I understand, the sheet with the QR code to the magnet or to?
To the town website to the town sustainability tab page.
The main
Up.
sustainability
Yeah.
page?
Because I think,
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I think that's important for, again, sort of talking point, and also to direct people, because so many people don't realize, what is on the website. So again, it would be good, say, okay, look at the QR code, they can do
Just
it there
snap
and then.
a picture of it
Yeah.
and find out about other things that we're doing, not just the styrofoam.
Yeah.
Because the table will
And
be
recycling.
focusing on styrofoam and then the magnet, and it would be,
Composting. Composting would be good.
what would that look like? Have a compost bin or?
Yeah, and again, saying it, in terms of how much DPW can provide us with the tonnage that's been composted, in 2024, just to have some figures, some facts to say, did you know that, as a town, we composted X amount of tonnage, which equated to X amount not being landfilled, and
Could you put that together in a sheet or something and email it, and then I could print it out and have it there?
yeah.
Something like that.
Alright.
That would be great. Okay, any other ideas about I love the idea of a trivia thing.
You're going to ask me to create it now, aren't you?
Well, just the question, it doesn't need to be like a fancy kind of thing, but just,
Did you know
a handful
Exeter
of
has a sustainability
questions
committee?
that we could just ask people. Like, it doesn't even need to be written down, but somebody comes up and looks and say, hey, if you want one of these magnets, answer a question.
There you go.
Well, I could, yeah, I could create a
Yeah.
cheat sheet.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. Well, that was a satisfying agenda item. Because I was all ready to say, well, I don't know if we're going to do it because I didn't, like I said, I didn't love the idea of tagging on to team without supporting them. So now we can do both, hopefully. All right. Next item is committee e-news name and content. So between our last meeting and now, we took a little poll and we came up with Earth to Exeter to be the name of our starting to have social media and publicity in the newsletter and the biweekly report that Exeter TV does. And we're going to start out with highlighting the magnet, the keep it out of the landfill. And today we had a back and forth with Bob Glowacki at Exeter TV, and we're going to get something in the newsletter on September 12th. And then this is going to require working with the Energy Committee as well, and we're going to alternate each committee putting something in that spot. So I'll be looking, I think, as a committee, we should come up with maybe 6 different ideas. Well, the magnet's one, and then maybe another 4 or 5 ideas for something that's related to what we're doing, some of our programs throughout the year, or things that we think can engage the community in sustainability initiatives. And one thing, Kristen and I met between the last meeting and now, and one of the things we talked about is really trying to focus on positive things. We talked a little bit about carrots and sticks when you get people. Sustainability is all about like changing habits, about engaging people in maybe things they're used to doing and not realizing, oh, there's a different choice, there's a different way to do this, and encouraging them. And one way to encourage that is by realizing, hey, there's people in our community who are interested in doing this, or there's people who are already doing something, whether it's recycling or composting or styrofoam. But really to try and focus on what we've accomplished and I'm not quite sure how to say it, but I think you know what I mean. The positive benefits of taking sustainable actions, rather than look at all the things that you're doing that are so wasteful or.
So every 4 weeks, we'll have a slot to fill, is that right? Because it's bi-weekly?
Yes.
Energy takes one, then we take
Yeah.
one. So we need roughly 6 ideas for the next 6 months,
Yes.
give or take a few weeks.
Yep.
Great. And the first one, you're going to feature
The magnet, and just a link to the magnet, and some text about all the different ways you can keep waste out of the landfill.
right, so featuring the graphic that Sarah's created.
Yep.
Yeah, that's great. And then you could also do something when you're getting closer to our next styrofoam recycling. That would be one.
I was going to say that I think makes sense to have it be the next one.
Have we set a date for that yet?
We have not, we have said October. We
Sometime in
talked about
October.
that today.
Okay,
think
is
cost-
that on the agenda?
composting pumpkins.
I was going to say Halloween is such a huge waste.
Yeah.
The costume reuse, composting pumpkins, and then the candy. There are like ways to recycle candy wrappers. I don't know, but like,
Yeah.
that seems like a timely.
Because we've lost our partner for composting pumpkins in town with Laney Lou.
Although there's a new cafe opening up
Yeah,
there.
so-
I don't know anything about it, though.
No, nor do I. So maybe
Sunny Cafe. It
once that's
sounds-
open, see whether they are using Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, I'm just trying to think whether if there's anyone else we can partner with in town who uses Mr. Fox that we could, because I think for the past couple of years he's been so successful in getting people to come into town, you know, and grab a coffee and drop their pumpkins off, and they come with their kids, and the kids are excited as well to see something positive happening. So I think it's, you know, I think 3 years now we've been doing it, 3-4 years now. So I think it's really, really good that if we could carry on doing that.
So would an easy way to do that be to ask Mr. Fox who else in town might,
Yeah,
like,
I'm
who
just
else
trying-
would be
just trying to
a
see.
business customers
Yeah.
of theirs?
Yeah, that we can.
Me and Ollie's,
I don't know if they do. I don't
or
know.
Auto Pizza.
Yeah, I don't know. Would somebody be willing to reach out to Mr. Fox and call them and just say who, because they might not know who might be willing to do it, but they could give us the names of who their business sponsors are in town, who they already pick up from, whether it's restaurants or, well,
Cafe.
restaurants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have to be someone who already, I mean, couldn't it just be, there's space here?
Oh, yeah.
Like Lisa at Alchemy Herbs, I'm sure would
Oh,
love to do that. You know?
That's
It
a
may
good
not be
idea.
The right location, but we just needed space.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if we can.
That's true.
I mean, if if we use the same parking lot as where Laney Lou is, or used to be, you know, and if we can get one of the bins from the transfer station, I don't know if that is doable.
I think it's filled multiple bins, right?
Yeah, we had. I think. Yeah. I mean, there was like. We did it over 2 days as well, so we could just do it over one day, if that was, you know, if we couldn't find anyone. But there were always 3 bins located that were used. And Mr. Fox would pick up the next day so that the cafe could carry on using them.
PEA has a ton of compost bins.
Yeah.
Where are theirs?
Just off. Yeah, I know where they are.
Oh, there's some at the new dining hall on
Yeah.
that little side street that I
Yeah.
forget the name of. So our next meeting is October 1st. So maybe we can figure out when we would want, because I love the idea of having the Earth to Exeter spot focused on Halloween, because there's so many different angles to go after in terms of waste related. And didn't I just say focusing on the positive? People are going to accuse us of like not wanting to celebrate Halloween. Well, but
No, I think it's.
well, the pumpkin. I mean,
I think it's all.
Yeah.
You can. It may come across, I don't know, sort of, you know, telling people what they can and cannot do. It's not that. The thing that we need to, you know, keep in our minds is, as a sustainability committee, you know, we are here to raise awareness, right? And the most effective way of doing that is to make sure that, you know, we are giving the residents alternatives as to what they can do, right? And if, you know, you've already got pumpkins around, people have Halloween parties, they're using disposable plates which go straight into landfill, you know, so what alternatives are there, right? There's compostable plates, you available utensils which are not plastic, single use, you know, I think it's that consistent messaging as a committee in our weekly, monthly slot to say, let's try and change, right? And we're not being party poopers or whatever. We are
Right.
trying to encourage people to look at alternatives which are out there, which are available, use proper plates that you put in
Right.
the dishwasher, right? And a lot of sweets as well are now, being wrapped in not plastic wraps. They're being wrapped in alternative,
Yeah.
recyclable packaging.
See,
So
yeah.
it's that education which
Right.
needs to be consistently delivered.
So now I'm picturing a really fun and engaging actual spot on the biweekly report. If we video like things that aren't scary about Halloween, and you could have pumpkin composting and what you said, if you're having a party, like what's a sustainable thing to do. Does anybody want to work with me on that? Because I love that idea of maybe getting something a little creative for just a few, because we're talking like just a couple minutes, right? If we do something in the biweekly report. Yeah, or maybe we just all come up with ideas and think about that and figure out what date that would be too. If we're talking about Halloween and we look at the dates of our input into the newsletter and the biweekly report, what date would that be? And see what's
So you have
possible.
one coming up shortly, and then it'll be 4 weeks, so it'd be the next one that
It would be the next
that
one,
you'd want to feature the Halloween,
because it would be in the middle of October.
10/10.
early to middle, yeah.
Okay,
And you won't have another one until early November, so.
okay. So
that would
maybe
be the
that's
next-
too ambitious, but still, I just think it's kind of fun. At least the pumpkin compost,
Bob makes it pretty easy, so.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think you're being too ambitious. You just need to kind of come up with a script and then do it.
right. Is
He's very good.
anyone interested? And because if no one else is interested or, whatever, I'm sure I can find somebody else. But
I'd be interested, but I just don't have the capacity.
I know, exactly. That's
Sorry.
always the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
But,
I could probably help you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just mostly like a little bit of brainstorming
Yeah,
and,
just a
very
outline-
simple.
An outline of a script, and
yeah.
Bob will make it easy.
And you know what? While that would be something we can talk about at the team tabling in between the crowds of people that are coming to
There you go.
to learn about styrofoam recycling.
There you go.
Okay. Anything else about the newsletter or the biweekly report
Do you need your list
of?
of topics? Because you've got the magnet, you've got composting.
Yes.
And
I wasn't entirely sure we were going to come up with a list today.
You can
but
do
we
your
could.
styrofoam, and then you can tackle Christmas.
We might
Thanksgiving.
not even have
Thanksgiving,
enough
Christmas.
time to do styrofoam and Christmas. Depends on talking to Amy and really like looking at the calendar and figuring out, okay, if we're going to do this, because maybe they,
Because then those gets repeated, right? They can repeat. Bob can repeat those
Well, it gets distributed, so it gets multiple views.
viewings.
yeah. Well, so we've already come up with the magnet's going to be the first one, and then a Halloween, and then styrofoam
Thanksgiving, Christmas.
or Christmas. Because if we only have a chance to do 3 this fall, then, well, maybe we might want to do Christmas and not styrofoam. Because if we have styrofoam in October for our event, and then I don't know what's the latest on when we're getting the actual machine.
November is the target.
Okay.
So I
But
think
that's a good list to start.
You want to feature Sarah's graphic in the first one,
Yes.
and then you want to do multiple ideas for how to have a sustainable Halloween in October.
Yep.
And then we can promote the styrofoam installation in November.
Yeah.
When we have more information. So
Okay.
That gets us three
Yeah.
out of the 6.
Okay.
We can do the rest in another meeting.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
No, I think that composting at the dump is also something that should be one of the 6.
Yes.
Because I don't know what the latest data is from how much they're receiving, if we've plateaued in compost and we're not getting more than what we usually get every month to month. It would be good to celebrate how much we're getting and how much we would like to have more. I don't know where the data for that is, but it would be good, we could, spring, January, February, but there might be a message there that we're
Yeah.
quite successful and we want to be more successful.
Yeah.
I did put together, on the same page where I was collecting name ideas in Google Sheets, somewhere where we could plug in the
Okay.
topic content.
Mhm.
Content.
And how, I know you get that,
I can share it again.
yeah, do we get data from Mr. Fox?
We do, yep. DPW collects that, and they update it fairly, it's not quite monthly, but it's close.
Can the committee get a copy of the data?
Yep, yep. We tend to promote it every time they.
Facebook page.
What's that?
It comes on DPW's
Yep.
Facebook page,
Oh,
data.
Oh,
Composting data.
okay. I didn't even know that existed, so, maybe that's part of the promotion, is if you
Yeah.
want to know, it's on this, it's available. Yeah. I'll go look at it now.
Yeah, we can promote that and so folks can track our progress.
Would it make sense to have, it sort of feels like this is an area that we're growing, this concept of outreach. And I wonder if it makes sense to have one person sort of be in charge or spearheading outreach in more than one way, like Instagram, website, that. It just sometimes can be helpful to have one person just a thought.
Right.
Anyone really likes that stuff?
Because, you do that as part of your job, but not specifically for this committee, and we could take on more of that.
Bit of history. So before
The what?
a bit of history, just to
Oh, is
say.
there?
So before, obviously, we don't have a communications committee. It sort of started and filtered off and whatever. And when we set up this committee, there was a big discussion as to how we could do outreach and keep information out there. And I think there were some groups, some committees have got Facebook pages and whatever, but we ended up with, we do have a Facebook presence, environmental newsletter page, whatever it is. And so it was really important because we couldn't say that it was official town opinions, I guess. So we would post information on what was happening, what we were doing. We would put up meeting agenda on there when it was coming up, what issues we were talking about. I mean, it's still. I mean, I still post on it, and I share things on that and also on the forum, on Exeter Forum and whatever.
Wait, so I don't know if I understand. So there's another Facebook page?
Yeah,
That's called what?
environmental. I admin it. It's called.
And it was set up.
It was set up. It was set up
ad
as a
hoc by
page.
members.
Sorry.
It was set up ad hoc by some of the members of the committee.
We set it up because we were told we could not use the town symbol and make it like an official town web page, Facebook page, because the town does not have a communications strategy set out.
But they
So
have a
the only
communications
way.
Committee now.
Sorry?
I think it might have changed. There's a communications committee, isn't there still?
Yeah, but the direction still is to consolidate Facebook pages. And so having a Facebook page for each committee just isn't feasible.
Yeah.
Or,
No.
you know, you end up dividing your audience. And so, you know, there's plenty of opportunity for posting on the Planning and Sustainability Facebook page. If others want to
Yeah.
help provide content, I'd be happy to share it there.
That's
And then it
fascinating.
would
Okay.
come across as a town-related
Yeah.
sustainability committee activity.
So who posts on that?
I
I
do.
post, oh, on that one,
No, on the
On the town.
the planning and sustainability,
I do.
and that,
And
okay,
you have to be careful, right? Like, we're
Yeah.
not taking political stances and all of that, but.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm not, I didn't know there was this other page, and I'm not so, well, I guess I don't really know what, so you post on that?
yeah.
That
Which
one's a
is
little
fine,
less
that doesn't, there's no
Yeah.
problem,
Right.
there's no problem with the town
Okay,
in terms of doing that. It's
All
just
right.
to have multiple official
Yeah.
town, social media streams
yes,
was admittedly problematic.
okay,
So there was an effort to kind of, consolidate and have some content
okay,
monitoring or,
yeah,
And so specific people were assigned to do it. That's
Okay.
all, just so that the town wasn't, going in a million directions.
yeah. That makes total
But-
sense.
But members of this committee can post about the activity of the committee on personal, personal
Right.
social media pages.
Right.
There's no
So
restriction
that's what
against that.
that is.
So this was, like I said, this was set up by, when this committee started,
Okay,
because we could not have an official page.
okay,
And so this was a way of putting out, the minutes or the meeting agenda and anything else that we were doing. So
Yeah.
it's got posts on styrofoam,
so
recycling.
back to Sarah's original question. Does that seem like that's part of what you were talking about?
Yeah, I don't know, it's just, if there was someone who really likes that sort of thing, communications, they can
Right.
sort of just, in whatever form it takes,
Right,
be the one who like gets the stuff filtered through, or crafts the message for the TV or,
yeah,
we also tried doing that before.
yes,
It becomes really almost problematic just to have one person doing it because personally, because I took it on too, and you just, it winds up, you're not contributing, and you're not adding to it, and if it's just all on one person. And then there was we tried, I think, having different people giving content. I mean, when you work in a corporation, you're trying to get content and experiencing
Yeah.
this from people. It's really hard to get content from people.
so you're saying it was too much work on the one person?
Yeah, absolutely, as like being part of a committee, and it's just a lot. But I think if there was something in place where everybody was aware of that page and had the opportunity to contribute, or if there was, conversation amongst, maybe it's even a minute item, okay, let's talk about what we're going to post,
interesting.
this month, for instance, and it could correlate too with what we're doing, right? So our newsletter, our Facebook post, and our activities are all, you're just channeling them to the different
Right.
channels and promoting them.
But you think-
So one of the things that's great about the Exeter TV initiative is it does give you content that can be posted
Right.
on the official town planning and sustainability, but it can also be posted by individual members of the committee. So that's why that's so helpful. It creates the,
Right.
Bob is in the content creation business.
Yeah, and he does a
And
great
that's
job.
his
He
job.
does.
And he works with the communication committee, and they've
Right.
charged him to develop this e-newsletter. So our segment of the e-newsletter is content that could be posted on that page that you've
Yep.
created, but it can also be posted by Kristen.
But when
if
Kristen-
it meets their guidelines.
Whenever Kristen posts, I always share it to the forum, the town forum, and also there's another group that I don't know how active it is, called Seacoast Goes Green. I post on there, and then also on this Exeter Sustainability Advisory News. So, it goes out in different places, and
So
people
every 4
do
weeks,
engage.
you're going to have a piece of content that can be pushed widely. And over the course of 6 months, you're going to cover a lot of the topics that we're working on. So I think this is going to be resolved by our working with Bob,
Yeah.
to a greater degree than we have done up till now.
Yes.
Could more be done? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But let's focus on getting that done. In my mind, that would be the way to go at this.
Because I think with regular slots, with the output on Exeter TV and the newsletter, I think it will encourage, people to look out for the posts as well, and see them on Facebook's, like if you follow the conservation Facebook page or the DPW, you'll see the information there, and you'll see other Exeter, the Exeter TV Facebook page as well. So I think in that way, hopefully it will generate enough awareness in all those different places,
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, though, because I think that is like one of the fundamental themes of what we're doing here is outreach. I mean, we're not doing this just to look at each other and say, hey, yay, look what we're doing. So, all right. Next item is report on the July styrofoam collection event, which was quite successful. Do you want to say anything in particular, Kristen?
Yeah, sure. So I was just trying to get the exact numbers. 65, in 2 hours, we had 49 cars that dropped off materials, 11 cubic yards collected, so that's 11 of those big super sacks, which is about our capacity for carrying. We had to mush that one
Yes.
pretty tightly, at least for the equipment that we were renting. And so that's the equivalent of more than 67 33-gallon blue bags. So the interesting thing, I thought that day that was the most cars we had ever engaged with, but it actually wasn't. There was sort of less vehicles, but the same quantity. So I don't interpret that any way you want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dice it and slice it a few different ways, but still very successful. I just, you all see it too, get so excited to see the thankfulness in everyone's faces because they finally have a place to put this stuff.
Yeah.
And we had great weather.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and we had the truck donation that you were able to work out.
Yep.
We had a volunteer donate a gas
A
cart.
gas cart.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
That's the
Someone
second
that
time.
drove through.
Someone that came.
Someone
through
that drove
the second time.
through, and he
Yes.
had like a small bag of styrofoam and said, oh, I wasn't able to collect that much, but here's a gas card to pay for the transport to the
nice.
recycling facility.
And I think we have about $85 cash collected. So,
Excellent. So do we need to pick a date for the next
we do.
one?
We do. We've been saying quarterly. I'm a part of the FRAG committee, which is Foam, Recycle, and something Coalition. We coordinate the drop-offs because it's regional and we don't want to overwhelm Guilford. they are really having a hard time keeping up with Saturday drop-offs,
Oh.
but are willing to make it happen if that's the only option. I can't see us do a different day of the week. I just don't know
Yeah.
feasibly how to make that happen unless, you know, we were collecting in a truck all the time, which costs money.
Yeah.
So they said October 4th is a no-go. The other options, and I guess it would just be based on availability
Yeah.
for people, is October 11th, 18th, and 25th if we continue on a Saturday. They're closed on Sundays, so. But we would need, in addition to just support that day, need help picking up the super sacks and then transporting them again.
The 11th is Columbus Day weekend.
Right.
What about the 18th? How do people feel about that?
I can't do the 18th.
Neither can I.
I'm out of town.
What about the 25th?
The 25th, I'm available.
I'm available on the 25th.
So am I.
I'm not.
What times are we looking at? Is it 9 to 11? Is that the successful time?
Yeah, the collection times have been 9 to 11, then if you,
Yeah.
for transport, what time did you get back, around 3:30?
Well, I stopped on the way back, but
So
yeah.
3
something, yeah.
3:30-ish, I would say.
Yep.
Is there anyone that would be available to pick up the bags that week? So that would be the week of October 20th.
So that's driving to Guilford.
Driving to Guilford, having some, you know, they are bulky, so a vehicle that can fit the bags.
So if
Do they fit in a regular sedan? I mean, if I show up in a sedan, just a regular four-door car, or do you need a
No,
SUV or?
I used a Jeep Cherokee. That was,
I can fit them in the hatch of my car. Is there a day that it has to be done?
So the closer, they're also loaning bags out to other entities, so the closer to the collection date, the better for Guilford. We could try to work it out whenever. They're not open on Mondays.
I
Yeah.
could possibly pick up Friday. They're there Fridays, right? The
Yep.
24th.
So would this be the last
I,
collaboration before the one we have gets installed?
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, our grant requires us to have it functional before the end of November,
Okay.
so.
So our first local styrofoam collection should be able to be related to the holidays.
Yeah.
The Christmas styrofoam onslaught.
Actually, if we're going to get the machine on in November, does it make sense to just do November and not have an October event?
I've had so many people ask when we're doing the next one and have been saying October.
Okay.
So I feel like people are looking for it now.
Which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was
Which is
just trying to
great,
save,
yeah.
if it helps to save, it's only a
Yeah.
couple weeks. Do we have a date for when the machine gets put in?
No.
No.
Is
There's some
the
steps that need to happen still.
is there a high school sustainability committee this year? Do you know? Who knows?
I know last year, I don't know, I should know Wednesday because the Energy Committee has 2 student reps and they are on that committee. They had a tough time with recruitment last year.
Yeah.
I think they were down to 4 people or something, very small, so
Huh.
I don't know.
Because I wonder if we could get any of them to help with the styrofoam collection that day, as, you know, Saturday morning before the afternoon football game,
Yeah.
do a couple hours of community service. But so it sounds like maybe we're going to try for October 25th for the collection,
And we have to.
assuming all things
Yeah.
line up.
Yeah. And then Nina, you said maybe for the 24th.
Possibly, I'm waiting to hear.
So could we get a backup? Maybe
Yeah,
just-
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because I'm waiting to hear if my sister's coming to town, so
Okay.
that's possibly,
Because no bags, no
but.
collection.
Right, right.
Yeah, I'll be the backup.
Yeah, okay. So I'll put a reminder to check in the week
And how many
prior.
bags do you usually get?
So-
Because last time I remember
I know,
was
we
a little
aimed for
short.
20.
20.
So let's not do that because we don't have, if we're just having one truck, we're not gonna be able to carry more than 11.
I was going to say, 11 was,
So-
I think, the maximum we
Yeah.
could have fit.
I would pick up maybe 12
Okay.
or 13 and we'll just have to
Yeah.
figure out how to get it to Guilford another day.
Should I ask about the donation again? Yeah? I mean,
Yeah,
all right.
that would be great.
All right. Anything else about styrofoam?
I talked to the schools, the elementary schools, and I'm meeting with them to just see if they still use styrofoam, and if so, like, can plug them into this.
Awesome. I wonder if they do. Like in the cafeteria?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I haven't heard back, but I'm going to go
Huh.
talk to the green team about it, so.
Yeah. Great idea. All right. Agenda item 7, the solid waste subcommittee. And it's on the agenda because I feel like the time for when our town solid waste contract is coming up is next year, I think.
2026, yep.
And we have talked at previous meetings about how to have any input into that, I guess. But I don't know. Is there something that we can do? We had, I can't remember when the guy came and presented from Dover, was it? And they had paid a consultant and did a very extensive look at different options for solid waste. And after listening to that, it kind of seems like I'm not sure what alternatives we can come up with between now and the time the town's contract is up. So,
Could I speak to this?
yes.
I think we're on the right track. I think we're trying to put together small bore programs to try to divert things from the landfill. And to me, that seems like the right approach. What we should do with the town, and I think DPW kind of takes the point on negotiating that, right? Along with the town manager. What we should do is make them aware that we are doing these smaller bore initiatives, and that over time, we think we may have an impact in reducing the size of the stream that's going into the landfill. And they would be wise to negotiate something into the contract that might allow us to save money. I think that's the way for us to insert ourselves into that. So to make the folks that are negotiating aware that we're trying to have an impact. We've had a small impact so far, but we hope to grow that impact. And if they can put something in the contract that would allow the town to save money and motivate the taxpayers of this town even more to embrace these initiatives, it creates kind of a virtuous cycle. So I think that's the approach, rather than saying, let's get in the middle of the negotiation.
Yep.
Continue to kind of do our work, stick to our knitting, and make them aware that we're hoping to have a larger impact over time. And
Yeah.
it's absolutely essential because we've heard that, the landfill that we're using is going away sometime in the 2030s. So that, I think, is maybe, have them negotiate a way for us to monitor our progress in diverting things from the landfill, and perhaps putting clauses in the contract that would save the town money. I've been thinking about this a little bit.
That's a really good idea.
But to get in the middle of the negotiations,
Yeah.
probably not, wouldn't be that helpful. Just to make the folks aware that are negotiating, that
Right.
we're trying to have an impact. And if they can put some things in there that might motivate the town. And I think Waste Management, who is our current, they're interested in this as well. They are running out of landfill space, so they want to preserve that to the greatest degree possible, I would assume.
Yeah.
That would be a good business practice for them.
Do we know when that negotiation is happening and who's doing it?
We have not heard about it at the select board level.
Okay.
But there's been some turnover. The town manager is
Oh, yeah.
resigning as of September 30th. So
Yep.
there's a new town manager that's going to be hired at some point. The interim town manager is our current assistant town manager, Melissa Roy. So,
Yep.
And Kristen meets with her regularly. So she could, I assume you could make her aware that this is an initiative that we are going to continue to try to grow. And I'll make her aware of that as well.
And certainly Steve Cronin and I speak regularly.
Yep.
The Public Works Director, he's aware of this and he will be integral to those negotiations, so.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
So this should be is the solid waste subcommittee, who's on it? You are?
And Chris.
And Chris. So I think this should be an agenda item that we carry through
Yeah, maybe
the
some,
next couple of meetings and try and come up with a really, a meaty sort of description of the things we're doing and hoping to do.
yeah, I think one of the things that's happening right now is that the current contract really doesn't, it doesn't have a lot of metrics, and it doesn't have a lot of ways for us to promote the fact that we're saving money.
Okay.
So we need more information to motivate our taxpayers
Yeah.
to embrace these initiatives that we're, and that has to be negotiated into the contract, I would assume. More feedback, more data that would allow us to motivate our taxpayers to embrace more sustainable practices that divert things from the landfill. Does that sound right, Jim? Yeah.
There was an old agenda item to set up a tour of the,
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Did
was
that-
postponed because people were ill. And, yeah, so that hasn't been,
so it hasn't been done.
It hasn't been done. Steve has reached out to me repeatedly to find out what dates would work. I think we've brought it up in the past. I'm kind of wondering what the gains would be from that. I mean, to see the landfill is one thing, but you won't see the recycling end of it.
Oh, you won't? Oh, okay.
And so, and I think initially that was the motivation, right? It was like, let's really see where our recycling is going. And so all of that gets sorted in Massachusetts. And so I'm happy to continue to pursue that. I would feel better having a better understanding of what our goals are.
No, that's totally fair.
But it is really insightful to visit the landfill. I know my son's, I went with his class to tour it, and it's shocking to see in person, especially, both the capped and the active landfill.
You know what would
I
be,
think if we did do a tour, it'd be really good footage to be used for the
Well,
Exeter TV.
yeah, I was
slot.
thinking if we could do a
You know.
tour and have it filmed for a spot.
Which they may or may not want you to do.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the takeaway for me for a recycling perspective was if there's any non-compliance in your bin, it gets thrown into the trash. So for me, that's like a critical piece of data to understand, like how much is diverted to trash, only just because we don't know well enough how to sort our own recycling. And so I don't know how to find that out, but that would be a really great campaign to tell taxpayers, hey, this is.
That's why I'm focused so much on the negotiation of the contract, is because if we can negotiate some of these metrics into that contract, we can start to use that. So seeing it, yeah, that's great. We just need we need to try to establish a more fulsome partnership with whoever our contractor is. It's currently Waste Management, and there aren't that many choices, so we'll see if it continues to be them. I don't know where the negotiations stand, but whoever the partner is, we want a better partner in terms of like motivating our taxpayers to embrace sustainability.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, I think that's where we can have an impact. Anyway, that was my thinking on it.
Is there any guidance from Waste Management or whoever we're going to be working with as far as like how recycling should be put into the bin? Like, does it need to be clean? Like, what numbers? Like, I think the last meeting is when I first heard, oh, only 2, 4, and 5 only. Like,
2, 5, and
thank you. I had no idea. So, like, that I quickly changed my
Well, that's why
habit.
Sarah's graphic is so helpful. Like I have that on the refrigerator right next to my
What
path.
graphic?
Sarah's graphic that she
Oh.
created.
that-
I have that on the refrigerator
Yeah.
right next to my path to my recycling bin.
Good, yeah.
And I use it all the time. And I stopped putting stuff in that I used to put in because I have that there now.
Yeah.
It's really a powerful tool that you've created, Sarah. Thank you. It's helped me a lot because I kind of had a vague idea of what should go in and what shouldn't, but now I just check the graphic. Bang. I get it right.
I mean, a separate graphic just for recycling, but
Well, it's all there. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty much everything.
But, speaking of outreach and social media, I mean, you could take each one of these pieces from the magnet and share it. Like, this month focuses on single stream recycling, and
I mean, ultimately,
remind people.
The solution with recycling is the more reading I do, it's actually sorting the things into the components, right? Not having single bin ultimately is the way for us to go. I mean, you look at what Rye does, and they're very carefully sorting. They're having their citizens go to their transfer station and very carefully sort things. And they have people there that work, volunteer there, that monitor it. And ultimately, I think that's the solution to, the recycling that gets thrown away. But that involves going away from curbside pickup and going to a system of having people go to a transfer station. So one of the things I've been doing this year is I've been trying not to use curbside pickup. I've been trying to discipline myself to drive out to the transfer station, especially with my recycling. I don't always accomplish it every week, but I'm trying to do it. And we don't sort it there. It's still single stream recycling, but at some point I have a vision that maybe we can start to break our recycling efforts at the transfer station into the different components so that we can start to harvest the value. Because you can't harvest the value when you're doing single stream
Right.
recycling. It's not valuable when you mix it all together. It only becomes valuable when you sort it very carefully.
Right, and aluminum is the top dollar. I wonder what the bang for the buck would be if we got some kind of bin that was just for aluminum cans. And, work with Waste Management or a successor vendor to say, we will give you pure aluminum, and what will you do for us if we do? Then maybe go to the next most valuable thing, which I guess is styrofoam.
Maybe.
And then to the next most valuable thing, which is number 1 or number 2, plastic or
maybe cardboard.
cardboard. Yeah.
Which we are segmenting to some degree out there already.
Right.
We don't have enough capacity, and the bin is not covered.
Right.
So it can't be used in.
Right, and it has
Can
something
only
to
be
do
used in
with
dry weather.
having traffic flow too, right? And where does that, I know that they were thinking about a project to redesign the traffic flow, and is there an update on that?
Yep, so Paul Blasich, our former town engineer, is a consultant at the time, filling in until we get a new engineer. Part of his task is designing a revised plan for the transfer station. That includes flow and has the space for the styrofoam system. So,
The town didn't approve enough money to sort of encompass this vision of sorting more
Right.
carefully.
Right.
That's down the line.
Down the line. But the styrofoam, there's enough money to at least cite the styrofoam unit. And yeah.
Yeah, it was a $50,000 approval by the voters of the town.
Right, right.
And there's a lot that I think he's working on. He's working on repaving, right?
it
And-
won't include paving,
It
so they had proposed $100,000 before the budget committee, and through the process, it got reduced to $50,000. That eliminated the ability to pave and altered some other things, but generally, DPW believes they have enough funds to, improve the flow of all the structures that are out there and change it so you're not driving up onto,
Yeah.
onto the ramp, dumping your stuff and then backing out into the traffic. So it'll be an up and over sort of situation.
Yeah.
So,
Small
Is it,
steps.
is it beyond the pale of possible to say that, I know there's the CIP process, right? And to envision what a transfer station would look like if we separated recycling at the transfer station. And, how much money would that be? What year would, work in the multi-year plan for doing that? Is it?
That's exactly how you would do that. And
Yeah.
You're not talking about in a year or two.
Right.
You're talking a 5 to 10 year vision that would sync up with when that landfill closes.
Right. And so, that's,
And the CIP is exactly how you would approach doing that.
so that should be something that we could just, spitball some ideas about, like, what would we like to see in terms of separate recycling, and then, I don't know who you work with to say, is this something that is envisioned in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, well, certainly by 2030, right, or whatever.
So the capital improvements plan
Yeah.
is administered staff side by our planning director, Dave Sharples. And it's housed within the planning board. They approve it and send it on to the budget recommendation committee. But individual committees can work with Kristen and Dave to put together a CIP proposal that then may or may not be included. There's no obligation. But yes, that is something that we should begin to ponder and gather information and work on.
Yeah, because it seems like there's absolutely no scenario in the future where the town is not going to be going to the dump and recycling.
unless the scenario that all of the value no longer remains, right? So value of cardboard, for example, is tanking. Value of all of these are tanking. And so we don't know what that looks like, but I love this future look. We need to do something. We need to have something in our back pocket because we don't know. And so I think the CIP approach is a great one. I think it's something that we need to do hand in hand with Public Works, right? So it shouldn't be a this committee thing. It should be this committee supporting DPW through that process. Because so much of that
Very
relies
similarly
on-
to the negotiation, it's not that we want to get involved in the negotiation, we want to support them and give them ideas for how they can negotiate a contract that might motivate our taxpayers to embrace these diversion solutions out of the landfill, because it saves them money. But the contract has to be structured in a way that those savings can be realized. It doesn't feel right now like that's the case, because we didn't understand that when we
Right.
negotiated the contract 5 years ago or whenever we negotiated it.
All right.
Am I getting anything wrong there?
I don't know. I feel like there's, hearing Dover and hearing other contractors there was an NRRA webinar, which is now New Hampshire Recycles organization. there are so few players in this game that it's sort of like you get what you get, right? And so I think
The negotiation can be very uneven.
Yes, and
It's- yeah.
I think what you presented is the right way to think about it. They also need another solution, right? So finding that middle ground that benefits both and working toward that is how to approach it. I'm struggling with it. I was shocked with the whole Dover. I thought, like they had all the research, they did all the back work, and they came to basically the conclusion is it would be great if we did it ourselves and we could save, but we can't keep it staffed. So better not to take that risk.
And my thinking on this was very much informed by what we heard from the gentleman from Dover. I think the dead end here is curbside pickup. I see, and maybe we can't get the town to embrace that, but this is more than $1 million contract at this point, and it's only going to go up in cost. So that's 5% of the municipal budget.
Yeah.
So maybe we could get the taxpayers to move away from curbside pickup of at least recycling, save that money and start to try to develop a revenue source. I mean, I know, I understand what you're saying about as commodities, these things go up and down, and they seem to go down more than they go up in terms of value. But I don't see a sustainable path doing, curbside recycling, single stream. Doesn't feel sustainable to me based on what we heard from the gentleman from Dover. So I don't know. There's a lot I don't understand. There's a lot I don't know. But to me, that seems like an area where we could really start to push and maybe save some money for the taxpayers. Anyway.
So
Like
great
I s-
agenda item, because there's so much here.
I
really.
know.
I think
Yeah.
it's right to have it on there.
It's the issue in this area
Yeah.
of sustainability, I think.
That's true.
Moving away from the way we're doing it and trying to come up with a sustainable model that,
I think the only way you need pressure on corporations to lessen plastic waste and other packaging. And also, on top of that, with moving away from or removing curbside recycling, I think we need data ultimately in terms of, what happens. Do then the residents, do they become lazy, right?
Right.
In terms of just putting everything in landfill.
yeah,
Then you just,
there could be unintended consequences that
Yeah.
are far worse.
and then,
I hear that.
so there has to be a real monetary incentive if that's the only thing you can give to people to encourage them to recycle. I think the story around recycling needs to be changed, because I think people are probably, you hear rumors as to what is happening. What's the point, right? Ultimately, why are we doing this when you hear stories of there isn't any recycling happening? So I think it's a huge subject, absolutely huge subject, and it's just going to get worse in terms of more and more people shopping online. There's more packaging, and pricing going down for packaging because there's so much overglut of cardboard everywhere from Amazon shops or whatever being delivered. And ultimately, it's, again, another sort of education in terms of trying to get people to lessen or, to lessen the amount of packaging that they have. Do you really need a plastic bag, when you go to the supermarket? Take your canvas bag, reusable bags. And it is that kind of education to ultimately lessen whatever thing, whether it goes into recycle bin or whether it goes in landfill, needs to be lessened. And I think if we if ultimately, as a town, you look at doing recycling at the transfer station in terms of the sorting, is there more of an incentive to have curbside compost pickup, right? That would increase that to get all the organic waste out of landfill as well. So that's another whole subject.
These are all questions.
Yeah.
And we don't have answers, and
We
we don't
don't.
even have good data right now.
No.
So that's why I'm focused on maybe trying to negotiate into the new contract.
Yeah.
Better data on sort of like what's happening. And are this committee's diversion strategies having an impact that would financially benefit the town and our business partner because they're running out of room.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, good discussion and to be continued. Next, I'm aware of the fact it's 8:22, so the next item is the Sustainable Partner Program idea, which Kristen had brought up, and did you share it with everyone or just
I
me?
didn't share details. I just wanted
Okay.
to share
Yep.
in concept first and maybe find a partner on the board. Sarah had expressed some interest. Others are welcome.
Yep.
Basically, this is something we've talked about in the past, and that's coming up with some sort of, like, that, getting back to that carrot, some sort of, symbol that we can do to recognize local businesses, local organizations that are making steps, positive changes in standard business practices. And so that's something that's sort of been churning in the back of my mind, and I came across a really simple example. And so the concept is, you have a checklist of items that would qualify you. You do 5 or however it ends up being of these, you get recognized with some sort of window decal or some sort of, I don't know, seal of approval, I guess. And
Listing on a website page.
right, something along those lines. And so I would love to sit down. I don't want to spend time in a meeting because that's a lot to go through, but sit down with a subset of people and sort of comb through this and come back with a proposal for this program if you're supportive of it.
I love the idea.
I'd be happy to talk with you about what we're doing at the bookstore
Great.
so that you can start to
Yeah.
think about what works for businesses and what might not.
That's great. Thank you.
Come in.
Sarah. Thank
Excellent.
Can I join also?
you.
More the merrier.
Yes.
All right, excellent.
I'll reach out to schedule some time to talk. Great, thank you.
All right, and other business. I know Sarah spoke to me that she had something else to talk about.
Yeah, I just had one thought, again, for later, but I'm really interested in seeing the new pedestrian/bike master plan move forward in our town. I feel very strongly about this. And it just occurred to me that I could, in this capacity, do something about it. So I'd love to have some conversations outside of this normal meeting and see if there are ways that we can do that, if anyone is interested.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'd be happy to talk with you one-on-one about the circulation, parking, and traffic study, which interlocks with,
Yeah, it's all connected, right?
yeah. So I have some very definite thoughts about the study that we have
Okay.
and how that impacts the downtown. There's a lot of the suggestions in the study have elicited some criticism, and but it's a study that we paid for, that the voters approved us paying for, and there's great suggestions in there about making the downtown more safer for pedestrians and bicyclists.
Yeah.
It's different than the study you're talking about, but the two really interlock. So I'd love to talk to you about that.
Great. Okay. I'll reach out.
And then maybe we'll put that on the next meeting or the following meeting agenda, and you guys can report on that.
Okay.
Thank you. Does anybody else have extra business? No? I just wanted to, I think, Kristen, you had sent this out a while ago about the, I don't know the acronym, NHACC.
New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions.
Thank you. They have a really interesting series of lunch and learn seminars coming up. The first one is on September 23rd. They're during the middle of the day on Zoom at noon. There's one on Recycling 101, the what, the what, where, why, and how behind recycling in New Hampshire. There's foam recycling reimagined, clothing waste conservation and community, and zero waste and reuse strategies that work. So I would encourage everyone, if possible, to try and join some of those, one of those, any of them, and then maybe if you do, we can have an agenda item and report back to the rest of us if we learn something, because these are all seem like things that are directly related to what we're doing here.
And you do, I believe they're free, but you might have to indicate that you're a member community. So Exeter is a part of the NHACC members.
That's right. It said if you're a member, it's free, but
Yeah.
otherwise there's a cost.
Yeah, so
So-
as you register, be sure you indicate a member.
Okay.
That you're a member.
Fabulous. Anything else? It's been a very delightful meeting with lots of things covered. So I will ask for a motion to, I was about to say resign. How about adjourn?
I move he adjourn.
Discussion?
No, second.
Second? Who seconded?
A second.
Okay. All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yay. Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.